Brothers and sisters, before we continue, which of the 10 commandments do you think is the most manipulated of all and used the most to lead people astray? We believe it's the 4th commandment. Welcome again, my brothers and sisters. This is Module 5, Part 4, talking about the 10 commandments. Let us continue from where we left off in Module 5, Part 3. So now to the 4th commandment, which states that we should remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And remember, brothers and sisters, it is vital for us to keep all of the commandments as per Deuteronomy 6 verse 2. Not some, but all of the commandments. Now, as we stated, we believe that this commandment pertaining to the Sabbath is the most manipulated of all and is used the most to lead people astray. Just think about it. There can be only one Sabbath day, the 7th day, right? Yet still so many people have been misled as to when is the true 7th day, resulting in so many people observing different days and some just deciding not to observe any at all. You see, most people observe Sunday as a Sabbath, while a great portion observe Saturday as the day. Others observe Friday night to Saturday night, and a very select few use a lunisolar calendar to point to the true Sabbath. This is why we have done Module 2, which talks about the true Sabbath and holy holidays, to show you when to observe the true Sabbath day. Consequently, at this time, we will just highlight a few key points and then refer you to our Module 2 presentation for a detailed discussion on the Sabbath. Starting with this point. Right now, most of us are using a Gregorian calendar to track the days of the week. So more than likely, the calendar that you have on your wall or on your cell phone or on your computer is a Gregorian calendar. This Gregorian calendar is named after Pope Gregory. Now, Pope Gregory had changed the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar is named after Julius Caesar, who in turn had changed the original Roman calendar. So yes, the calendar that you're using right now have gone through a lot of changes. And you and I know that when changes are made, sometimes a lot of mistakes are made. For example, according to Wikipedia, the original Roman calendar had weeks made up of 8 days and years made up of 10 months. This is a far cry from what you're using, from the Gregorian calendar that you're using today, which consists of weeks made up of 7 days and years made up of 12 months. This alone should send off alarm bells to show you that you cannot rely on the calendar you have today, as it must be wrong since it was thrown off from the get-go. Therefore, you have to ask yourself, is your Friday night the true Friday night similar to the Friday night from day one? What about your Saturday and Sunday? Are these the true Saturdays and Sundays? Absolutely not. In fact, in 321 AD, Constantine, the Emperor of Rome, made a decree that all people residing in the cities should rest and worship on the venerable day of the sun. Yes, this is where Sunday is coming from. It's coming from the sun god, a false god, breaking the 1st, 2nd, and 4th commandments. While in 359 CE, Hillel II, an Ashkenazi Jew, and we have already shown that the Ashkenazi Jews that you're seeing today are not the true Hebrews or the true Israelites. We have discussed this in our Module 3 presentation, which talks about creation, the Tower of Babel, separation, and reunification. So you can see that presentation, Module 3, for a detailed discussion on this topic. Now back to this. In 359 CE, Hillel II, an Ashkenazi Jew, fixed the Sabbath to a Friday night to Saturday night in a cowardly act in order to avoid persecution. Now you can Google Constantine Sunday worship and Hillel II to fact check what is being said right now. Now this act breaks the 4th commandment. So brothers and sisters, the fact that the calendar you are currently using is wrong and the days are off or different from day one, this can only mean that your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are also wrong. Not only that, brothers and sisters, worshipping on Sunday, a day dedicated to a false god, makes you an idol worshipper. I mean, which God are you serving? The sun god? Come to think of it, whether you worship on a fixed Friday night to Saturday night, or you worship on a fixed Saturday, or you worship on a fixed Sunday, using today's Gregorian calendar, can only mean that you are not worshipping on the true Sabbath. This therefore means that if you are not worshipping on the true Sabbath, then you are breaking the Creator's fourth commandment. And if you are breaking His commandment, then you are not truly worshipping the Creator. So, if you are not worshipping the true Creator, then who are you worshipping? A false god? I mean, that's just something to think about. So here's another key point. Did you know that the Sabbath day refers only to the day portion of the day, not the full 24 hours? You want proof? Well, here's a simple version of the proof. We will start by using simple math to show why the Sabbath is not the full 24 hours. If you take a look in Leviticus 23 verse 5, it shows that on the 14th day of the first month. Now the first month is called Abib. We see this in Exodus 13 verse 4. So in Leviticus 23 verse 5, on the 14th day of the first month at night is the Passover. Now if you are using 24 hours, you would say the Passover is from the 14th at night to the 15th at night, right? Now, Leviticus 23 verse 6 to 7 shows that on the 15th day is the Sabbath, the day after the Passover. Again, if you are using 24 hours, you would say the Sabbath is from the 15th at night to the 16th at night. Again, am I right? However, in Numbers 33 verse 3, we see that Israel left Egypt on the 15th day, the day after the Passover, and Deuteronomy 16 verse 1 said they left at night. Why is this significant? Because they left Egypt on the 15th day at night. The same time your 24 hours argument is saying should be their Sabbath. Remember you said their Sabbath is from the 15th at night to the 16th at night? Clearly, the Bible is saying that they left on the 15th day. But according to you, the 15th day should be their Sabbath. So either you're saying they left on the 15th day during their Sabbath, which the Father would not allow. He would not allow them to leave on their Sabbath day because the Sabbath is a sacred day of rest. So it's either you're saying they left during their Sabbath or you are saying they left after the Sabbath. The problem with that is that after the Sabbath would be the start of your 16th day. But the Bible said they left on the 15th day, not the 16th day. Obviously, the 24 hours Sabbath does not compute mathematically. So let us now look at the simple, correct calculation, which is as follows. As per the Bible, on the 14th day at night is the Passover. Now the Passover ends at dawn. This is the first sign of light, which is daylight in the morning. It ends at dawn in the morning. This is the morning of the 15th day. Hence the Passover is roughly 12 hours, only the night portion of the day, not a full 24 hours. Further proof of this is seen in Exodus 12 verse 22, when Moses told Israel they should not leave their house until the morning after the Passover. So obviously, the morning after the Passover is when the Passover ends. So the morning after the Passover is the 15th day. Now the 15th day in the morning is the start of the Sabbath. So the Passover ends in the morning of the 15th day, And the start of the 15th day, the morning of the 15th day, is when the Sabbath starts. The Sabbath then runs for roughly 12 hours into the night of the 15th. The Sabbath ends on the night of the 15th. The children of Israel then leaves Egypt on the night of the 15th, right after the Sabbath ends, as per the Bible. They left on the 15th at night. See, it's simple math, brothers and sisters. The Sabbath must be only the day portion of the day, not the full 24 hours. The Sabbath it runs for roughly 12 hours. Just the day portion of the day. It does not run into the night. Again, just the day portion of the day, not the full 24 hours. So moving right along, brothers and sisters, here's another point. Did you know that anyone around you, including your children, your workers, your servants, any guests you might have, and any animals should be observing your Sabbath, the true Sabbath as well? You can find this in Deuteronomy 5 verse 14. So brothers and sisters, is it now evident why this commandment pertaining to the Sabbath is the most manipulated of all and is used the most to lead people astray? Remember, keeping all, not some, but keeping all of the commandments are vital and required for salvation. So when is the true Sabbath? Brothers and sisters, the true Sabbath is a lunisolar Sabbath. As mentioned, our module 2, which speaks about the true Sabbath and holy holidays, our module 2 will guide you to finding the right days aligning the true Sabbath. So please take a look at our module 2, which speaks about the true Sabbath and holy holidays, as it has a clear and comprehensive description on the topic. Yes, brothers and sisters, we know that what we have presented thus far is, we should say, it's going to be hard for some of you to digest. But double check what we have said. Triple check it. Fact check it. Do your mathematical calculations. We are absolutely certain that what we have presented is true. So double check it. At this point, we think another break is warranted. Let us continue in part 5. Please subscribe and join me in module 5, part 5.